guys, so I'm gonna be honest, I forgot to film an intro, but today we're going to be looking at the Birds of Paradise collection and some of the new stuff from Makartt. And Makartt is sponsoring this video, as they do sometimes when new collections come out, because I'm gonna do a video anyway. So I appreciate their support a ton, and let's just get right into it. Alrighty, so here I have a bunch of stuff that Makartt has launched recently with their tips, and then I have the brand new collection underneath that launches today. So let's just get right into it. First off, let's look at all of these new press-on nails. Makartt's press-on nails are called pump ups, and these are extra long full cover stiletto tips. So let's see what these look like. Alrighty, so I love how these actually come in a case because I just feel like it makes it so much easier than in the little baggies. You get 12 different sizes, which is also really nice. And here are the nails. So you get 4 little bottles of glue, which is really nice because you're actually, stocked on glue, and you get a little file and all of the nails. So I'm gonna just pull out one and see how it looks. So here is the length of the extra long. I think pretty good. These ones are not super curved either. So if you have flatter nail beds like me, then these are great for you. You're not gonna have a ton of space to fill in. They're gonna be pretty flush to your nail. Really happy about that. Next, we basically have the same product, but in a different shape. The ballerina shape, which is essentially a coffin. Also instructions on the back. And here is the length for this one. Honestly, pretty happy with it. This is pretty much a standard length though for extra long nails now. A lot of companies use similar molds, but as far as material goes, these seem pretty sturdy. Like, I'm having to really dig in. Look at that. So yeah, pretty happy with these. Next up, we do have some half cover, so just like regular nail tips, not full cover. These are definitely new to me. Like I say, a lot of the time, a lot of the companies, source from the same manufacturers and stuff like that, but I have not seen these tips yet. These are super curved coffin tips. And I'm gonna use these for sure today because look at, they're already a great length and they're already a great shape as well as that C curve. Super good. Really happy about these. I think these are what I'm most excited about. If these go well today, I probably will find myself using these as my go-to. And last but not least, these tips come in a bag. These are stiletto tips, extra long once again. I've used these before. These are definitely like my favorite stiletto tips. They're straight, but still sturdy. And especially if you have flat nail beds, once again, these will fit your nails really well. So now let's get into the new collection. Let's start off with the polygel kit. So Makartt's new collection is the Bird of Paradise collection. Looks fun, looks tropical. Looks like we're gonna get some bright polygel colors. Excited. Okay, you always get your how-to, and this, it says you can use this code for 15% off Makartt, but you can use this one, or you could use mine, if you want. I'll put it here, thank you. All right, so we have this. I will swatch these polygels for you. All right, so first we have eggshell. Next we have cockatoo, which these are such bright colors. I am dying for this orange. 10 out of 10, love this orange. Brightest orange polygel I think I've ever seen. Flamingo, love this pink too. Wow, these are such pretty colors. And the last shade, creature. So I actually really like all of these colors, but the orange and the pink are my absolute favorites by far. So pretty, so bright, so in your face, love it. Of course, as usual, also you get your top base coat, file, brush, dual forms. In these newest kits, they have also been including a little bit of the decorations from the decoration set from the collection in the polygel kit itself. So that way, if you just want the polygel kit, you can still have a little bit of fun. So you do also get these feather stickers, so fun. Also these colorful rhinestones and these feathers. Moving on to the gel set. Yes, I'm going to leave the decoration set for last because it is the best, as usual. And you guys probably already know how I feel about these colors. I love green, I love pink. What more could I ask for? So I'm just going to swatch these for you guys really quick. And here are the swatches for all of the gel polishes. This one's my favorite, of course, bright, bright, bright pink. I also really like this one. However, this one I would say is the sheerest. All of these are only one coat. So I like to do it on top instead of underneath, because underneath, of course, it's gonna look like perfect. But you know, I feel like the top really can show, especially like over a curve and stuff, how well it's going. So you can see a little bit on this one, how it's a little bit sheer on the curve, but nonetheless, I really love this deep, deep, deep color. This one for sure my favorite. Other than that, all of these colors are really nice. I don't find that these two are too close in color. Like I had that problem in the Sweet Cravings kit. I think these are distinct enough to be different. And yeah, so let's get into the decoration kit now. Of course, my favorite part of all of these collections is the decoration kit. So we'll start off with the stickers. This first sheet is the same one you get in the polygel kit. Then we have some more like peacock and I don't know what kind of those. What are those? They look like swans, but black swans. I don't know. And then we have some other little birds. I like these. These are so cute, aren't they? And then we have these metallic feather looking ones. And that's it for the stickers. So definitely had a tragedy in my box as one of the glitters leaked. So that sucks. I'm gonna try to get this out with as little mess as possible, but we'll see. Alrighty, so starting off you get these glitters, and these glitters are a little bit different than I would say normal, because I feel like normally glitters are pretty hexagonal, but these are all circular, and I feel like the color variation is pretty good in these. This one I think is the one that is loose. Yep. But I do like these glitters. I also like these ones. I wonder if there's any special shapes in this one. There is. Okay, hold on. I'll show you. One sec. Let me get my tweezers out. So in that glitter, there are these little bunny glitters. How cute. Don't know what bunnies have to do with birds, but I still think it's really cute. So I'll allow it. It looks like the bunny heads on Animal Crossing, doesn't it? Anyway, so that one has bunny heads. Let's see what the other one has, if anything. Okay, so it looks like this one has hearts, stars, circles. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here. Yeah, hearts, stars, and circles. And then there are these rhinestones, colorful but still iridescent. More of these metal feathers. And then we have these, they almost look like paper. I'm not sure what material they are, but they're birds, leaves, a pineapple, banana, some fruit. And then we have these really interestingly shaped rhinestones. Like, they aren't flat back, but they're not super, super pointed in the back. They almost look like feathers to me, but you get some different colorways and sizes. All right, so here is the new collection we're going to play with today. So let's get started. So I think one hand I will build a nail with the half tips and the polygel, and then on the other hand I will do some press-on, some gel polish, and of course some decoration. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start with the hand that we're going to build the nails, and we're gonna use these half cover French tips. All right, and then I do have a protective base coat on my nails. If you want to see how I do that, you can see my previous video that I just put up. I show you how and why I do that. So yeah, now I'm just going to glue these tips on. Okay, I love these. Look at how good they are. Look how long they are. I mean, like, wow, 10 out of 10. And even though my nail beds are kind of flat, they still fit really, really well despite the C curve being so pinched. Cause it goes from like not a crazy pinch to the pinch, which I think helps a lot. And then as you can see, it's on just fine with my protective base coat. And I feel like these do run a little bit large, which I honestly think I would rather, you know, tips run large. That way more people can use them, because you can always customize tips to be smaller, but you can't really customize tips to be larger very easily. So I'm totally fine with them running a bit large. I think that's good so that more people with larger nail beds can use them. Normally I don't do this, to be honest. I wake up in like a haze from my nightmares, but today I woke up and immediately was like, I cannot wait to use this orange polygel. Like, I'm just like so stoked for this color. I've been thinking about the design I want to do with it since I finished filming the swatches and everything yesterday. Okay, so I think I've come to the conclusion that my middle finger is just genuinely crooked, because I feel like no matter what I do when I put a nail on and I look at it like this way, it's always crooked. Like from the front it looks straight, but then I turn it over and I'm like, what? I think it's my nail. Like, my nail's crooked, for sure. I think. Alrighty, last one. And the tips are on. Absolutely love them. I'm gonna let the glue harden for a second, and then I'm going to buff out the tips so that we can make sure that everything is going to stick to it. Yeah. And I'm just also filing like where the tips came off of, like whatever form, so that I don't do that afterwards, because sometimes I'll do that and then you try to put polygel over it and it just doesn't look as neat as it should. I'm also just making the tip a little bit more flush with my natural nail. It'll just make the whole process just a little bit smoother. Alrighty, now we have all of that just all roughed up. All right, so now I'm just going to put my base coat on. And I personally like to put it over my entire nail. You don't have to put it on the tip though. You can just put it on your natural nail. But I don't know, I just like, it makes like a whole nice smooth surface for me on one layer. Gonna cure that. And I'm gonna be using the orange, of course, and the pink today. Alrighty, I'm so excited. Okay, so I have my cockatoo one, bright orange, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out on my nail, like so. And then I'm gonna dip my brush in some rubbing alcohol. So if you don't have rubbing alcohol, you can also dip your brush in your base coat and you can use that as a slip. It's really preference if you like doing that or not. And then I'm just going to smooth this out. I want to do an ombre, but right now I'm just building the nail. Obviously I need to add more polygel to this, so you can really do it either way. You can cure this and then add more polygel, or you can just add more on top as is. I'm going to cure it personally because I like the way that my like ombre looks. So yeah, then I'm just going to add a little bit more down here. Perfect. This specific shade does seem a bit tougher and a little bit stickier than Makartt shades usually are. It might have to do with how much pigment is in this, but just an FYI. I'm not really having like any issues with it, but it is just definitely, as you can see, a little bit stickier, and that's even with my rubbing alcohol on the brush. So just do keep that in mind. I'm having to use just a little bit more rubbing alcohol than I normally would, but using more seems to help with that stickiness. Okay, so now I have my orange on. The base looks good to me. So now I'm gonna grab my pink and I'm gonna put it just basically on the second half of the nail. There are a ton of different ways you can do an ombre. You can start with the pink first. You can like put them both on at the same time. You can do that. I just like doing it this way. It's easier for me to build this up and then just pull it down. Making sure I get that down all to the side walls. And I'm gonna just basically pull this down and try to make it as even as humanly possible. And if any gets too low down here, then I can obviously just file through that. That's how a lot of like French tips and stuff are done. You just like kind of go over your like initial base down here and then file off any extra. But honestly, it looks like a pretty good ombre to me, in my opinion. Then once we're done with that, we're gonna put that into cure. And then really, I like to rub it with alcohol right away because I do not like when it's sticky. So this will just make sure that I don't get stickiness all over everything while I'm doing the rest of the nails. There, the base looks like a pretty good structure to me. We'll file later and this will turn from a bumpy ombre to a magically smooth ombre. So let's do the rest of the nails. So I pretty much am going to do the same thing on all of the nails. So I'm just going to more or less zoom through that. And I just put the base on all of my nails. And then I'm basically gonna just do the orange on all the nails and then the pink on all the nails to speed this up. But I don't know, enjoy some music. Alrighty, so I have all these here. I'm gonna just wipe off the sticky layer. She's a little thick, but we're gonna fix that. But I love the color scheme on this right now, like so pretty. So let's get to filing. I am going to, I think, start off with my e-file just to try to debulk and this bit. Okay, so now we have these all filed. I'm going to just wipe them off one more time. And honestly, I just love these colors. I want a lot of it to show, so I don't think I'm gonna do too many stickers or decals or anything like that. Like, I just love these kind of as they are. So I'm gonna add a little bit to them, maybe some feathers, but not too much. Just cleaning up all of that dust and making sure that this is nice and clean so that all of our stickers will stick to it. Alrighty, so I'm gonna use these stickers. Coming up nice easily. Potentially just like maybe there. There we go. Nice. Making sure to get those down. These come up so easily, it's really nice. And then I think for our next nails, we'll do more of a cooler blue theme. That way we can use some of like the peacock ones. Have like a warm and cool hand thing going on, I think. Honestly, I'm having an easier time picking up these feathers with my fingers than with the other thing, because these are really thin ones, and so you don't want them to break. Okay, so I needed some more of these color ones, so I pulled out the pack from the polygel kit, and it looks like you get the peacock ones too, which I like. Feathers are on, love them. I want to take a quick look at these rhinestones because they're just like different than what I've seen before. Just dump a couple out here. They're like clear blue iridescent, but with a colored backing. But I'm just going to put our top coat on. Okay, I tried putting like one rhinestone on there, and I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm gonna take it off. I think we're just gonna leave them as is. All right, and so I put my top coat on and these have been all cured. I know I have dust everywhere, but this is not the final reveal because we have a whole nother hand to do. Why? Because I don't know, I can't stop. You may also ask, Emily, why didn't you do both hands like this? My answer to that is, I don't know. My brain says to do two different sets, and there's lots of things that my brain says that doesn't make sense, but we're just gonna go with it. But I am going to make it easier on myself this time and use the pump ups. I don't know why I don't do this normally, but I'm going to decorate these on a little stand instead of on my fingers, because that's honestly a lot easier, I think. So I'm just going to size these out really quick and just make sure I have sizes for my nails that look good. All right, so now I have these. Let me get the little stand that I'm gonna use today. Okay, so I'm gonna use this little contraption, and this is going to make it so we can hold the nail on. And I'm gonna be using this Simply Tacky stuff. And I think that will do better than, I was using double-sided tape for a bit and that wasn't working as well. I will link these, by the way. I just got them from Amazon. And this is like one whole thingy. So you just pow, pow, pow. Then I'm just gonna take a little bit of this sticky tack stuff. And I think it's better if you put it inside the nail By the way, this is how basically all of the press-on shops and stuff do their press-ons, more or less. This is how they make all those designs so pretty, like on a nail that's like just done pre-made. And a lot of them use these same size tips and stuff like that. So if you want to make like your own press-on nails for the future and stuff like that, you can definitely use this type of stuff. Granted, a lot of the time when you're paying someone for the press-on nails, you're paying for their talent to draw stuff and come up with designs that you can't. You know, you're paying for art. So, you know, keep that in mind. If you see someone's like press-on prices and you're like, why? It's just this. It's because it's art. And then for this one, this is going to be an accent nail. So I'm actually going to stick it this way because I'm going to decorate the inside of it opposed to the outside. There we go. Alrighty. Cool. Okay, so, I think like I said, I want to do a peacock theme. So I'm going to take out this glitter because this is just like screams peacock to me, right? Yeah, peacock. And then potentially these. I'm feeling gold too, so maybe those. And probably definitely the stickers. I need to look through my swatches. I kind of want to use this dark green just because I thought it was so pretty. I'm a little disappointed there's no blue, but that's okay. So I think I want to start off mainly with the accent nail first. And for this nail, I want to do a just like almost full glitter nail. So I'm going to just take my base coat and I'm just going to put that all inside this nail. Because we are going to be using glue for these, I don't have to worry about keeping any part of the base right here transparent. So I have that there. I'm gonna open up this glitter and I'm just gonna use, I don't know, I use this reusable file as like a glitter thing. And I'm just going to pour some glitter on there. I want quite a bit. Don't forget your side pieces. And the nice thing about this is you can just twirl it. And because it's curing from both sides, you can really pack it on there if you want. Alrighty, and then once you're happy with that, I'm just going to stick this into cure. And then for this one, I'm just going to put a top coat on this back now. And I mean, really, like one of the great things about press-ons is glue, especially like a strong nail glue, will pretty much stick to anything. So you can definitely just put gel like this and then just glue it on. Like the top coat will absolutely stick to it. I'm putting a fairly thick layer so that it fills in any crevices. And I'm gonna set it into cure again. Okay, so now that that one's done, I can put it back on our little stand and then I can work on, let's work on the thumb. I just feel like, I don't know, like I want to. Okay, so I'm gonna take this green. I just love how dark it is. I don't know. Like normally I go for a neon green, but just this like dark forest green, I don't know. I'm like really feeling it today. Like I said, this one is the sheerest of the bunch, but I don't really see too big of an issue with it. Make sure you get all sides, like I almost didn't get that side. Okay, I'm gonna cure it now. Okay, why are you tipping? Don't tip. I'm gonna put one more coat on that one. I think that this one needs some gold leaves on it. I don't know. I'm gonna put a top coat on first though, just because when there's a sticky layer like the gel polish leaves, I know I will put my crusty fingers into it and then we'll see fingerprints and no one wants that. I'm gonna put a thin top coat once again, and I just don't think that the leaves will match very well, the gold ones, if we don't have some other sort of sparkle on there. So I'm just going to take all of these that I have dropped and just sparsely put them everywhere. Then quick flash cure, and then one more top coat. I know it seems like a lot of top coats, and that's because, well, it is. But I mean, as long as you're doing them thin, I mean, these really are not that thick. Like compared to these, like this is not that thick. It's fine. And then a cure last time. Then as far as these like gold leaves go, I'm going to put them on with glue just because I think that will adhere them a little bit better than just a top coat. Okay, so now we have this one. I love how this one looks. All right, so next we're gonna do this nail. So for this one, I actually think I'm gonna take this off and turn it around to start because I just had an idea. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with a base, a pretty thick one. And then I don't know, I just wanna use these so bad. I love the leaves in here. So I wanna put the leaves at the bottom. I think these are paper, yeah. And since they're paper, they should hopefully just, you know, like form really nicely in there. All right, and then I'm gonna cure that. And then I'm just going to take a heavier top coat just in case there's any little gaps in between the nail and the paper, just to fill those in, make sure I get in all the crevices. Then we're gonna cure. Look at how pretty that is. Anyway, we're not done with it though. So now I'm gonna just stick that sticky stuff on the other side. It's nice that you can reuse that. And then now I'm going to do a French tip on this one with the green shade because I want it all to sort of match up. Then that first layer is how I like it, so I'm going to cure it now. And then I am going to do just a second coat to just make sure it's nice and opaque. I don't know if this is going to look good, but I want to like outline. And we will finish that off with the top coat. Okay, I feel like it's coming together really well so far. I'm really happy. So let's work on the middle finger. I'm actually loving doing the nails like this. I feel like they're turning out so much better than they normally do if they're on my hand. Probably because I like bump everything and I'm not a coordinated person. But like if it's like this, seeing it one at a time, it kind of helps. Maybe I'm just having a good day today because I feel like these ones actually turned out decent as well. I don't know. I'm gonna start out with this color. And I want to do an ombre with this color. Some sort of ombre-ish. Maybe not completely. We'll see what I can do. Okay, so I was sort of thinking like, no, I want it to be a smooth ombre, but hear me out. I almost feel like this could almost maybe look like a feather, right? Right? So I'm actually gonna just keep it as is. Now we're gonna put on a top coat. Let's put on some stickers now. I for sure wanna use these peacock ones. I think they're so pretty. Okay, love that. Pretty, pretty. Now I'm gonna top coat it. Okay, and then to add a little, I don't know, pizzazz, we're gonna add some rhinestones at the bottom just because I feel like this one needs like some shiny of some sort. And again, with my nail glue, just gonna do it at the bottom here. Perfect. I am gonna use these rhinestones. I feel like they're a little strange, but in a good way. And perfect. And we're actually almost done now. We only have one more nail to go. I think I'm gonna do it pretty similar to this one, except I'm gonna put this like blue on the top instead of on the bottom. That way we have some cohesion, you know? Okay, final stretch. So I want to use one of these like little peacock heads because I feel like it just fits the shape of the cuticle perfectly. Perfect. And we'll also do a feather as well. Then top coat one more time. Okay, and here are the nails. So now we have to put them on. I'm so excited. These are so pretty. So I do have my protective base coat on my nails, but what you're going to want to do essentially is on your natural nails, on a protective base coat, whatever, is buff off any shine. Doesn't have to be a lot, just a little bit off. The texture makes the glue hold on a little bit better. And then you'll have a dusty nail. And what you're gonna wanna do is wipe it off. If you don't have rubbing alcohol, use nail polish remover, use acetone, rubbing alcohol, all of those should work. All right, and now here is how to put on the nails. So I'm gonna take that off the stand and I'm gonna take this tacky stuff away and I'm just gonna put it back and I have my nail, still fits, great. So what I'm going to do is you need to sort of gauge how much space you need to fill because these ones fit my nails pretty well. I don't need a bunch of space. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're going to put a line of glue in the middle of your finger in a line like this. And I found that this way fills out the nail the best and makes the least amount of mess. Okay, that fell off because I was messing with it, but we will fix that afterwards. Mistakes happen, you guys know that. I like to show you the mistakes. So you're gonna want to push down like that. You're gonna start like pushing down with your cuticle first. Make sure it's even and just push down firmly. Honestly, just like take the couple extra seconds and hold it on. That will ensure you don't have any air bubbles or anything like that. And then your nail is on. Okay, let's fix that little oops really quick. Wipe it with alcohol. So if you're having the little decals fall off, I've found what that means is usually the back probably needs to be scored a little bit. So I just do that on my file a little bit, and then usually that fixes any falling off decals for me. So I'm just going to, once again, just attach it with some glue. And I'm gonna just let that dry. While that dries, I'm just going to get the rest of these off. Again, you know, let's not pay attention to how crusty my nails are. So line. Remember, push down at the cuticle first. And then the nails are on. So I will give you guys the outside shots, of course. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Makartt, for sponsoring. Please make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. It helps me out a lot and I appreciate it a ton. And I will hopefully see you guys next time. Bye. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. How am I supposed to get the ball from up here? Give me the ball.